The next story is the ex-president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, and I saw an arrest warrant being put out for him. And as soon as I saw this, I instantly sent Barry a quick message, very excited about this news. I don't know how it would have sort of slipped past, but there was a very clear little asterisk there that I missed out myself, and that is that this arrest warrant actually only kicks in at a future date. So in terms of a bit of context, it was the pre-trial date for Jacob Zuma. He's facing many counts of fraud and money laundering and those kinds of things, and he actually didn't pitch up to this pre-trial. And instead, his representation brought through a doctor's note. The authenticity of this doctor's note has been questioned quite a bit. I believe it didn't even have a date on it. And so for this reason, the magistrate put together an arrest warrant that when this trial actually starts, if he doesn't rock up, this will become effective. Quite a bold move. It looks like we're going to see Jacob Zuma have his day in court.
Yeah, it's a really big deal for the country because after all the state capture things we've dealt with the last couple of years, nothing's really happened, right? We haven't seen anyone go to jail. We haven't seen any big kind of ramifications with people who were part of all of this corruption. And so Jacob Zuma, as the kingpin, was seriously involved in a lot of it. And so a lot of South Africans are hoping that he's going to see some sort of retribution. We're going to see some sort of justice put down on him. But it's just taking so long, right? We feel like it's taking forever. And so the date keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. So this was when you sent me the message, I was ready for the mobs to go and grab him and I was on news straight away trying to find out what was going on. But unfortunately, it was not nearly as dramatic as I was hoping for.
Yeah.
But we will see. It's hard to tell with these sorts of things as to whether it's legit or not, right? Maybe he is sick and maybe he is unable to go. I mean, he is an old man if we think about it that way. But it's super convenient, right? And so all the conspiracy theories will come out that he's left the country and he just doesn't want to stand trial at all. And he's going to try and run for the rest of his life. And so that's the concern, is that can we actually bring him to a fair trial and get a sense of what actually happened, and can we get some sort of justice, whatever that looks like. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, this one's an interesting one for anyone sort of not in South Africa, anyone who hasn't been exposed to this. I think it's definitely worth giving a little bit more context. So I believe a lot of these charges are related to this arms deal where a large number of irregular payments were made to him, or he sort of received these types of payments as part of this arms deal. We know Shabir Sheikh has been sent to prison related to this. And I mean, Jacob Zuma has just been dodging, obviously while he was president, able to, very easily kind of maneuver these claims and sort of just dodge spending time in court. But I mean, yeah, like I said, it looks like this day is finally coming. Is there anything else you'd like to fill in some of our other listeners about?
I think the key thing for me is what impacts this kind of investigation has on the state of South Africa in the minds of overseas investors, right? So if we spoke about the World Economic Forum a few episodes ago, and we're chatting about the fact that if South Africa can show that they've got a judicial system that works and that can then implement the right kind of justice on this kind of issue, it might restore a little bit of faith in the country and its institutions. Definitely. That there's actually consequences for actions, right? But if it doesn't go that way, and if Jacob Zuma gets away with it and kind of we move on with life and we forget about what happened, all that state capture and all that corruption goes begging, then it's a worry, right? Because then it kind of shows that you can get away with this stuff. And so for people outside of South Africa, I think it's important that they realize how important this is for the country's reputation. And regardless of what you think of Jacob Zuma, if you like him or hate him, and regardless of whether he's guilty or not, we want to see a fair trial with lots of evidence and a real rigorous process to figure out what to do about the situation. Because that corruption really set our country back 10, 15 years, I would argue. The amount of money that was embezzled and the amount of money in these arms deals was just staggering. And when you look at a country with huge unemployment, lots and lots of poverty, that money was desperately needed, and it just got siphoned into private pockets. And so it's important that we really give a rigorous process on this. We figure out as best we can what the actual truth is at the bottom of the matter, and we show the rest of the world that our institutions, especially our law system, is working effectively and efficiently, and therefore have some trust back into the country.
Absolutely. I mean, what is a law system if it's not enforced and no one is actually held to account? You got people who are able to literally do whatever they please and just have no accountability for it. So hopefully we'll see that day soon.
across the